Hey everyone, welcome back to the Analytical Coding. In today's video, we are starting a new series on DAX Relationship Functions. So these functions are used for managing and utilizing the relationships between the tables. And in this part 1, we will understand two commonly used functions and they are related and related table. So let's get started. Firstly, related function. So this related function is used to fetch a column value from a related table. And when you are working in a table, that is on the many side of the relationship table. So that is a fact table. So here in the model view, you can see we are having a relationship between the tables, right? So the relationship between the products and sales table, you can see one to many. And this related function can be applied in the table where we are having the many side. That means we can apply the related function in the sales table to get any column from the products table. So let us see the syntax of the related function. So you can see here it is taking one argument and that is the column. So the column you want to bring from the related table, that is one side of the relationship table. So this function returns the value from that column for the related row. So let us see an example to understand this clearly. So let us go to the table view and here we are in the sales table. So in this sales table, this is the many side of the relationship between the products and sales table, right? So now let us add a new column, okay? And in this new column, let us bring the products category from the products table into the sales table. Okay, here for each product ID, we are having the product category in our products table. So from that products table, let us bring the category into this sales table. So here, let us add as category and now let us bring the products category. And here, whenever I directly type the products and category, we cannot see the products table and its columns as well, right? Because we cannot directly enter the column name from the other table. So for that, we are having the function which we have discussed now, that is related. And now, whenever I selected the related function, you can see the suggestions, that is customers table and products table, because this sales table is connected with customers and products table. And here the one side of the relationship they are having is customers and products table. So that is why it is displaying these two tables only. And here from the products table we want to get the category, right? Now how this function execute? So for each product ID, this related function will calculate the products category. That means for product ID 12, it goes to the products table and checks which is the category under product ID 12, and that category will be displayed in this column. So now you can see for product ID 12, the category is accessories. So let us go to products table and here for 12, you can see it belongs to accessories category. So in this way, we are getting the related product category from the products table into the sales table using the related function, right? Now let us go to the products table. So here products table is in the one side of the relationship, right? Now let us add a new column here as well, okay? Using the same related function. Let us try to check how that works in the one side of the relationship. Now again, here we are going to get the quantity from the sales table. You can see there are no suggestions under this related function. But whenever we wrote this particular function in the sales table, that is on the many side, we can see the suggestions of the dimension tables. And here in this product table, we cannot see any suggestions because it is on the one side of the relationship. We can only use related function on the many side to get any value from the one side of the relationship. So now what if we want to use the column from the many side into the one side? So for that we are having a function called related table. So this related table function is used to fetch the related rows from another table, and when we are working in a table that is on the one side of the relationship, so usually a dimension table. Coming to its syntax, so related table, and it is also taking one argument, that is table name. So the name of the related table, and it returns a table that is a filtered set of rows that are related to the current row. Okay, now let us see the example of this as well. Let us go to the table view again, and here, so I have told that related table will return the table that is a filtered set of rows related to the current row. Okay, now here, whenever I enter the related table, you can see the suggestions, and whenever I select the sales, as I told in the syntax, it takes the table name. So related table of sales. Now how this execute? So for product ID P1, okay, so for product ID P1, this function will check the related table in the sales table. So it goes to the sales table and selects all the rows with the product ID P1. But here we are using this in the column, right? So a column can only have a value but not a table. So for that, we are including this in the sum x value. Okay, now sumx function. This sumx function takes table as the first argument, and here we have used this related table. And now what is the expression? So we are now going to see the total quantity ordered for each product. So let us select the quantity. Okay, now what happens? So for each row, this related table will return a table of rows filtered for that product ID. So for product ID 1, this related table will return all the rows with product ID 1. And this sumx function will sum the total quantity. So we'll return the total quantity for that product only. Right? So now let us click on enter. So you can see for product ID P1, the total quantity order from all the customers is 10. So in this way, we can use related table to get the information from the many side of the relationship into the one side of the table. So in this way, we can use related and related table functions to fetch the related rows from the another table. And now you may ask me, why we use these functions when we can just drag field into the visuals? Like suppose when we go here, let me add the product ID from the sales table. Okay, and now let us add the product category from the products table, and here we can easily see that for each product ID what is the category it belongs to. Instead of using the related function and adding a new column into the table, we can directly drag into the visuals, right? Then what is the use of this related or related table function? So yes, visuals already use relationships to show the connected data. But if we want to create logic in our model, like a new column or KPI or advanced calculation, then we will need related and related table functions. So let us see an example as well. So here I have created a measure where I am calculating the total sales, that is quantity into price. So here the quantity column is present in sales table, and each product price is listed in the products table. And now I want to use these two to calculate the total sales for each product. Okay. Now let us remove this particular related function and directly use the column names, that is quantity into price from the products table, and use this sumx to calculate the sales. Okay. Now let us try to add this into the table. But before adding, you can see that a single value for column price in table products cannot be determined because this product's price table have many values and sales quantity have many values. So how can we check each product ID's price? Right? So for that purpose, we are taking the related function. So when we say related products price in this measure, it will not throw any error. And whenever I add this measure into this table, so for each product, this sales quantity is returning the quantity order for that product, and this related function is using to get the product price for that particular product. So that is why it is really important to add the related function so that we tell the measures or the DAX to get the product related to the current row selected, that is product 1 or product 2. So based on the related row, you have to fetch the price from the products table. So in these cases, we need to use the related function even in the measures. That is all for today's video on related and related table. So in the next part, we will go deeper into more relationship functions like use relationship and cross filter. So stay tuned and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel.